Hello and welcome to English in Mind, the podcast, where you improve your English while learning how to live a stronger, more focused life. Whether you're walking to school, studying at your desk, or just taking a break from a busy day, I'm so glad you're here with me. On this podcast, we don't just practice listening. We grow. We learn to think more clearly, speak more confidently, and take control of the life we want, one word, one idea, one brave moment at a time. Today's episode is about a simple word, no, and how this one small word can quietly change your life. So take a deep breath, settle in, and let's begin. It starts with a moment, a pause. Someone asks for your time, your help, your energy. You feel your body tighten. You don't want to do it, but your mouth opens and you say yes again. Why is it so hard to say no? Because deep down, many of us are taught that being a good person means always being available, always saying yes, always showing up, even when we're tired, even when we're busy, even when we're silently screaming inside for space. And every time we agree to something we don't truly want, we tell ourselves a story that it's easier this way, that it's not a big deal, that our feelings can wait. But over time, these small betrayals of ourselves add up. They become a habit, a lifestyle. And one day we realize we're not living our own lives. We're just reacting to everyone else's. Learning to say no without guilt is like building a muscle. At first, it feels weak, unsteady. You might feel rude. You might feel selfish, but you are not. You are simply practicing something you were never taught: boundaries. Let's talk about that word for a moment, boundaries. A boundary is not a wall. It's not something that keeps people out. A boundary is a line that shows where you end and someone else begins. It's how you protect your time, your focus, your emotional energy. And without boundaries, even the most loving relationships can become overwhelming. Think about your study goals for a second. Maybe you want to improve your English speaking, or pass an exam, or write better emails. That takes time. That takes effort. You need space to think, to focus, to rest. But when your calendar is full of other people's plans, and your brain is busy with other people's problems, where is the room for you? You need boundaries the same way a tree needs roots. Without them, you fall over in every storm. You get blown around by everyone's expectations, opinions, and needs. Saying no is how you grow stronger roots. But still, it feels scary, right? That's why the next step is learning how to say no in a way that feels clear, kind, and calm. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to explain your whole life story. You just need to be honest. Let's try some simple English phrases that you can practice today. Thank you for thinking of me, but I can't commit to that right now. I appreciate the offer, but I need to focus on my studies this week. That sounds like a great project, but I'm going to pass this time. I'd love to help, but I have to take care of myself today. These are small, simple sentences, but each one is a step toward freedom. You might worry, what if they get upset? What if they stop liking me? Here's something important. Someone who respects you will respect your no. If they don't, then maybe they're not asking, they're demanding. And that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to protect your energy so you can grow into the person you want to become. Let me share a story with you. A student I know, we'll call her Lynn, used to say yes to every group project, every extra activity, every coffee chat. She was popular, but she was always tired. Her grades started to drop. Her energy disappeared. One day, she missed a scholarship deadline because she was too busy helping everyone else. That was her turning point. She realized that by trying to be everything for everyone, she was losing her chance to be something for herself. So she started practicing, one small no at a time. At first, it felt impossible, but the more she said it, the stronger she felt. She began to notice that real friends understood. Some even said, "Wow, I wish I could say no like that." Her energy came back. Her confidence grew. And her English, it improved faster than ever because now she had time and space to focus. Here's the lesson. Every time you say no to something that drains you, you're saying yes to something that builds you. And that matters. You are not being difficult. You are being clear. You are not being selfish. You are being honest. You are not being rude. You are being real. Let's practice one more thing, the pause and reflect method. Next time someone asks for your time, don't answer right away. Take a breath. Say, "Let me think about it," or "Can I get back to you?" This short pause gives you power. It gives you space to check in with yourself. Do I really want this? Do I have time? Is this a yes I'll feel good about, or a yes I'll regret later? The moment you give yourself permission to pause, you stop reacting and start choosing. That's a powerful shift. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. Every learner, every dreamer, every student who wants to grow has to face this challenge. Saying no is not the end of connection. It's the beginning of respect. So today I invite you to try, just once. Say no with kindness. Say it with strength, and then notice how your world starts to feel a little more like your own. Because when you stop giving your time to everything, you start giving your energy to the right things. And that, my friend, is how you grow. The power of focus, what you gain when you say no. Imagine this. You wake up in the morning. Your mind feels calm. Your day is clear. You know what matters, and more importantly, what doesn't. That's what saying no gives you. Not just space, not just time, but clarity. When you say no to the things that don't serve your growth, you begin to see your true priorities. You start living on purpose instead of being pulled in every direction. And this is where the real magic happens. Your progress speeds up. Let's look at this from a language learner's point of view. Think about how many times you planned to study English, but something else came up. A friend called. Someone asked for help. You agreed to go out even though you were tired. One by one, your plans disappeared. Not because you were lazy, but because you didn't protect your focus. Now imagine the opposite. You start saying no to distractions. You guard 1 hour each day for deep work. No calls, no noise, just you and your goal. After a few weeks, your vocabulary grows. Your listening improves. You feel more confident speaking. Why? Because you finally had the mental space to stay consistent. That's what high performers understand. They don't succeed because they say yes to everything. They succeed because they protect their energy for what matters most. And it's not just about studying. The power of no affects your whole life. You'll notice your friendships change. Some people will respect your boundaries. They'll support you, cheer you on. Others might push back. They'll say, "You've changed." And that's true. You are changing into someone who lives intentionally, someone who doesn't live on autopilot, someone who isn't afraid to put their well-being first. Sometimes we're afraid that saying no will close doors. But in reality, it opens the right ones. When you stop filling your time with things that drain you, you begin to see possibilities that were hidden before. Here's an example. A young man named Daniel was trying to balance work study and social life. He kept saying yes to overtime at work weekend trips, group hangouts, until one day he broke down. His dream of speaking fluent English felt impossible. He had no time, no focus, no energy. Then he made one simple change. He started saying no to anything that wasn't helping him grow. He stopped apologizing for protecting his time. In 2 months, he finished a full English course. He gave a presentation in English at work. He even got promoted. And it all started with that one decision to respect his time. There's also a mental shift that happens when you get comfortable with no. You become more confident, more decisive. You start trusting yourself again. You realize you don't need everyone's approval to live a meaningful life. This is especially powerful for students who struggle with self-doubt. When you say yes to everything, you send your brain a message. Other people's plans are more important than mine. But when you start saying no, you teach yourself, my goals matter, My needs are valid. My time is valuable. Let's bring it back to learning English. What happens when you protect your study time day after day? You stop rushing. You begin to enjoy the process. You hear yourself making progress. You feel proud. You stop comparing yourself to others. You know you're doing what's right for you. That's what true focus brings. Peace, progress, power. I want to end today's episode with a personal challenge. Take a few minutes after this podcast. Grab a notebook. Write down 3 things you've been saying yes to, but deep down, you know they're slowing you down. Maybe it's a habit, a relationship, a distraction. Now ask yourself, what would happen if I said no? Would you have more time to rest, more energy to study, more peace in your mind? Then pick just one thing to say no to this week. Try it, kindly, clearly, without guilt. And when you do notice how you feel, lighter, sharper, stronger. That's not just about learning English. That's about learning who you are when you're not pleasing everyone else. And that's the real power of no. It's not rejection. It's redirection. It's not weakness. It's wisdom. It's not selfish. It's strength. Thank you so much for staying with me today on English in Mind, where language meets growth, and every word is a step toward your best self. If this episode helped you, consider sharing it with someone you care about. And if you're ready to take your focus to the next level, keep listening. We've got so much more to learn and so many ways to grow. Until next time, protect your peace, guard your time, and never be afraid to say no when your future is calling you to say yes to yourself.